Who do you think the lowest graded player on the offense is? This is a starter. And this guy has a lower grade than Samson Ebukam, who has a 1. This guy has a 0.
Brandon Ayuk.
No, he has a 4.
Wow. It can't be Elijah Mitchell.
No, he has a 10.
Wow. Brunskill.
No, he's a 15.
When Clinchy?
No, 11. They liked him. 11. And he's missed a couple times. Missed a little time.
Have I named everybody? Debo, Ayuk, the lowest graded?
Yeah, you're not thinking of him because he's not good.
Check?
Yes, a 0.
But
no,
right.
they historically give him very low grades every year. So maybe they're just anti-juice. Maybe they don't like juice.
Or maybe they just don't like fullbacks. And based on their grading system, fullbacks don't really have that much of a. Because look, I can make the argument that the Chicago Bears game was the best game that Kyle Juszczyk has played as a 49er. And he didn't have one catch, one touch, anything like that. He was setting the edge, blasting people, then getting to his block and getting to the second level. So I have to get into this grading system a little bit more. That's a little bit shocking to me.
It was a little shocking to me too, because I always liked Juszczyk.
Right.
I always thought that the more they got him involved, the better they were.
Right. And that's the thing, right? Like, this is my first time being in camp this year. And anytime that he was in front of somebody, whoever was guarding him, including Fred Warner, any of them, he baked them. And he was winning routes. So it's like, why aren't you involving him? But I guess this grading system doesn't go for fullbacks because fullbacks are largely obsolete in this game. There's only a few teams that employ them. So I guess maybe that is what is throwing it off a little bit. But
and I have no idea how they evaluate blocking. No idea how they.
And I thought honestly that Juszczyk is having one of his better years. And I am on record that Bears game is his best game as a 49er, and he didn't have one touch in that game because he was so good blocking. He literally would go chip somebody, then get to the second level and open up a crease for Elijah Mitchell.
Now, what I will say though is against the Rams, the Niners offense run game really didn't work with Juszczyk in the game. And I'm not saying it was his fault, but it seemed like the Rams base defense was all geared up to stop the run. And as soon as they replaced Juszczyk with Jeff Wilson Jr. and just ran the same freaking plays out of 11 personnel with Wilson as a fullback and Debo as the running back, it worked. So I don't know. It just seemed another guy the Niners gave a lot of money to, Juszczyk. It was the first guy they signed this offseason. And he's a little bit older. He plays a position that's kind of a part-time position. And I think his impact is a little bit maybe overstated. It's a little bit anecdotal.
Well, again, and what Shanahan uses him for is creating angles in the run game, things like that. But again, you kind of overpaid for a guy who can run routes. So it's like you can create those angles while also when you're down George Kittle, what is the harm in putting him out there against a linebacker and watching him cook if you can get him the ball because you've seen him in space and get the ball and be well, and that's the thing that frustrates me a little bit. I had heard you and many people from camp say, why isn't he more involved? And maybe I just like brushed it aside. But until I got to see with my eyes, because they do those one-on-one drills, I was like, oh my goodness, man, get this man the ball, get him in space and use him more, especially because you pay him so much. If this was Josh Hokett, whatever, I get it, man. Like, don't, I don't care. Don't use him. You don't pay him anything like that. But you're paying him as a running back.
Here's what I would do with Juszczyk if I were the play caller. Won a game, a screen. Why not? It seems like he'd be really good at that. A screen, one. But no, something. Anyway, Juszczyk, lowest graded player on the team. Maybe that's just tells you everything you need about this grading system.